At a dinner party, I fell in love with a wealthy and powerful young man in the city at first sight, while my sister fell in love with his father. Both my sister and I married into wealthy family. After marriage, my sister passed away from cancer. The young man revealed his true colors and began to bring different women home. Juliet, my dad is already dead. Now there is no one in the Fisher family who wants to keep you here. Be sensible and get the hell out of here. His new mistress was lying on the bed and taunting me. Sebastian asked her to pick up the toilet paper on the floor before leaving. I'm tired and doesn't want to pick it up. Sebastian Fisher frowned coldly and ordered me. Are you deaf? Pick up and immediately get out of the Fisher house. I held the divorce agreement tightly in my hand and took the paper away without saying a word. Followed his order and got out of the Fisher house. Later, he knelt down and begged me to go back, even at the cost of abusing his own body. But I would never go back. Seeing me coming out with a trash can, the servants of the main house below began to whisper. Oh, I told you that without Mr. Harold, she would be kicked out by Mr. Sebastian sooner or later. I heard that she pretended to be Ms. Jasmine and forced him to marry her. How shameless. Now that Ms. Jasmine and Mr. Harold are both dead, who will care about her? SHH, stop talking, she's coming down. I ignored the noise, walked downstairs as if nothing had happened and handed the trash can to them. Please clean up this trash can. Standing in front of me, I looked at a woman in her 40s wearing a servant's uniform, with her hand on the vacuum cleaner pole, glancing at the trash can and then looking away. She turned her head and said, I'm only responsible for vacuuming the dust. You should find someone else to take care of the trash can, Ms. Juliet. I swept my eyes over the other servants behind me and they also ran away when they saw this. The hand holding the trash can was awkwardly raised in the mid-air. Why can't Ms. Sherman handle such a trivial matter as throwing away the trash? The voice of Sebastian's new mistress, Zendaya Carson, came from upstairs. I did not get angry hearing that and put down the trash can in my hand, then walked to the sofa in the living room and sat down. It hurried downstairs to catch up and said, Ms. Sherman is really self-deprecating. She can endure any humiliation in order to be a good Ms. Fisher. I flipped through the newspaper in my hand and made a rustling sound, treating her completely as if she did not exist. Zendaya's mouth twisted and she approached me several steps with her hands wrapped around her chest. I'm telling you that the one who isn't loved is the mistress. If I were you, I would have drowned myself out of shame. I put down the newspaper and looked up at her as I slowly stood up and opened my thin lips. Then why don't you guess who will be called Ms. Fisher when we go out together? Her face suddenly turned dark and she was so angry that she could not say a word. I sneered. Her level was not even higher than the first 20 women Sebastian brought back before. Then from today on, I, Sebastian Fisher, will announce to the public that only Zendaya can be called Ms. Fisher. A deep male voice filled with anger came from upstairs. Those words were like a knife stabbing into my chest, making my already hypothermic body even colder. Seeing him approaching, Zendaya threw herself into his arms like a bird returning to its nest. She said coquettishly, if you come any later, I will be bullied to death by this ugly duckling. I reached out and touched my cheek. Was my complexion so bad that she called me an ugly duckling? Sebastian held her in his arms, gently lifted her chin and pecked the corner of her lips. Then in just a few seconds, his expression turned into disdain and he sneered at me. Jealousy has made you look unrecognizable. It's not her fault that she's young and pretty. You don't have to pick on her. I could not help but sigh. Look, Juliet Sherman, this is the true face of the man you have loved deeply for many years. Seeing this, Sebastian turned back to his deadpan expression and said to the mistress in his arms unhappily, someone is polluting the air here. Let's go. I'll take you out to play. She smiled and flattered, saying yes. I suddenly remembered that there was something I had not asked him to deal with, so I grabbed the documents on the sofa and hurriedly chased after him and shouted, wait, why? Are you annoyed? It's not the first time I've brought someone home. What do you mean by getting annoyed now? Before I could finish my words, he bombarded me with criticism.